I stepped way out of my comfort zone here and I read Fourth Wing, and I have a lot of thoughts. If you don't know, Fourth Wing is the story of a young woman named Violet. She lives in a nation that is primarily protected by dragon riders. She's kind of that classical, like nerdy, oh, I'm not pretty kind of girl thing. She was supposed to be a scribe, but then her mother makes her be a dragon rider. So this is the story of her training in her first year to be a dragon rider. This book is what you would call romantasy, which is really just to say it's light on the fantasy and heavy on the romance. And by romance, I mean the fantasizing of like a teenage girl, which is, fine, but that is what it is. That being said, fantasy is really my preferred genre by a long shot. In this, at times it's cringe, but then at other times it's like almost offensive. That might seem kind of extreme, just that's kind of how I feel about it. I also want to keep this review as spoiler free as possible. I might end up doing like a rant later that is totally full of spoilers, because there's a lot in the book that just drives me nuts that I can't really talk about without spoilers. I will say from the bat, the school thing makes no sense at all. In the school, from right off the bat, you learn that like tons of people who go to this school for dragons die, and still they're like very cavalier, walking through the hallways between classes, like joking about boys and girls and all that kind of stuff. I guess whatever, but it's just, for my brain, it's like, what, you're gonna ride dragons and you might die. Who cares about boys? And like, I almost think it's like insulting to a woman. Like the idea that you would be so captivated by some random guy that you wouldn't even be able to think of your own survival. That's kind of insane. Also, the language that they use is like constantly like Gen Z jargon, which again, like I know that's on purpose, but I just hate it. Pulls me right out of the story every time. I think part of the thing that makes fantasy and like medieval and older stories interesting for us is that they're kind of archetypal, because they're like who we are at our core when we haven't piled on so much of this endless technology. And like this kind of just does away with that. Like it's not a fantasy set in a modern setting. It's like an old setting with all the modern stuff just laid on top. To be honest with you, if I wasn't doing this review on it, I kind of doubt that I would have even finished it, because for me, the high school drama just gets so tiresome after a while. It's like, if you want to have high school drama, you can like go talk to high schoolers. And like the reason we don't do that is because they're like tiresome and awful. As far as ratings go, I generally rate books on a scale of 1 to 5, and 4 and up means I think anybody should read that book. 3 to 4 means I think maybe some people should read that book, and then anything under 3 means I think nobody should read that book. Listen, I'm not going to put the book at under a 3. I'm not going to say nobody should read it, because there are some interesting things she does with the plot, and then some interesting things that she does with the world building too, even though I think all the details in the world building make no sense. So I think I'm going to put it at a 3.1. Go read a book. Maybe not this one. Bye.